Welcome to Connecting to Spirit with Stacey, a weekly journey into the spiritual world with Evidential Medium Stacey Niedentohl. With nearly 10 years of experience offering transformative private, group, and platform readings, Stacey is also a passionate mentor, guiding students for over 5 years to unlock their intuitive gifts. She is the author of 2 impactful books, My Head Knows, But My Heart Still Hurts, a 30-day grief recovery journal, and My Crystal Addiction Diary, an exploration of crystal and stone energy for healing. So please welcome the host of Connecting to Spirit, Stacey Niedentohl.
Hello and welcome to Connecting to Spirit. I am Evidential Medium Stacey Niedentohl, and this is Bold Brave Media. We're also streaming live on YouTube, podcasts, Spotify, and other streaming platforms. So if you haven't been watching, a couple weeks ago, we did a couple live call-in shows where we were doing angel card readings or answering any questions that you might have about spirituality, or if you've got a question about kind of where your life is going or where you need to turn to. And we're doing a call-in show. We didn't do one last week, and I had a couple messages asking when we were going to do another call-in show. So tonight's the night to do the call-in shows. I'm always excited to have you be part of, sorry, I had to move my microphone. It was tilting over. I'm always excited to have you be part of the show because without you, it really isn't a show. And we're doing this for you. If this is the first time that you've been here on Connecting to Spirit, thank you so much for joining the Connecting family. I hope you enjoy this evening and will continue to listen. If you are back, welcome back. So like I said, we're doing a call-in. It's 866-451-1451. And when you call in, you'll be placed on hold. So you're muted, basically. And then you'll hear it go off of mute, and then you'll hear my voice. That's when you need to start talking to me. So now's the time for you to call in, and I want to talk a little bit about what exactly the show is. So we're doing angel card readings or answering live questions, and angel cards. So I've got a couple decks with me. I guess that's where I want to go. So I have my angel deck, which looks like this. If any of you that do cards, you might be familiar with it. I have my Earth Warriors deck, and then I have an energy deck, and then I have a deck of just miscellaneous calls, or miscellaneous cards. And I like to use them sometimes because I feel like when you use angel and oracle cards a lot and you pull one up, you automatically know what it means. So that intuitive listening ear sometimes gets a little bit muted. So I'll also be using those as well. But now's the time for you to call in 866-451-1451 if you have a question. Now, I do have a couple questions that I've had people emailing me about and asking me about, so we'll start a little bit with them. And maybe what we'll do, this is live, so I'm kind of winging it a little bit. So let me just start with this one question that I received, and somebody asked me what is a sacred space? So a sacred space is an area in your home, in your car, outside, somewhere that you go to that you can get quiet with yourself. So in my home, this is my office that we're sitting in right now. Behind the yellow door, that's my sacred space. That's where I do all of my readings, and that's where I do meditation, and that's where I go to get quiet with myself. I shut the door so that the dogs don't bother me. My husband knows when the door is shut that I'm either in a meeting or I'm trying to just like reconnect with myself. And all my favorite things are in there. I mean, I've got, and granted, if my favorite things were there, my dog and my husband would be there, right? But when I think about what I have in there, some of my favorite stones and crystals are there. I've got tons of books and different spiritual books. I've got crystals and stones. I've got comfy chairs that are in there. I burn incense or a candle, but it's a place that I can go to just to get quiet with myself. So if you're saying to yourself, I really don't have enough room in my home to have a sacred space, maybe you just have a corner that is just for meditating or journaling or, just getting quiet. And it can be just a corner. Maybe it's a chair that, has your favorite blanket on it and a notebook and a pen that's beside it. It doesn't have to be this huge space. It can just be where you want to go that is yours, that's comfortable, that anybody knows that's in the household. If you're there, you're getting quiet. Maybe you have a favorite tree or a favorite place you like to hike to. I have a friend of mine who has a place on the Appalachian Trail that she goes to, and she just sits there on a rock. When I was younger, there was a place that was connected to the school, and we called it the school farm. There's a big pond there, and there's ducks, and there's the great rocks that are there. And when I was a kid, I would walk out there and I would just sit on the rocks. Also, when I was little, I would just sit on the floor by the sliding glass door and I would just look out at night at the moon and stars. Those were my sacred spaces. So if you have a question about it, just start small, you know? Sketch out a time in your schedule where you can just sit and get quiet. And this is where I go. And make it a habit. Put it in your schedule of me time. So I hope that answers your question about the sacred space. Again, the call-in number is 866-451-1451. We need to get some calls in here so we can do some angel card readings. I'm just looking here to see if anybody has any questions on Facebook or on my social medias. But how's everybody been doing lately? You been doing okay? I do have some questions. Somebody loves my nail polish. Just got them done today. But yeah, give us a call in. So what I wanted to talk to you all as well about your sacred space. There was another question that asks how I sage or smudge my home and if that's important. I feel like saging a home is important. We sage. I don't sage as often as I should. Every once in a while, my husband Jeff will say to me, "Have you saged lately?" And you'll often hear me say that you can read 10 books about one subject and you'll get 10 different answers. But here's the thing about saging your home. You're setting the intention on how you want the house to feel. So the best thing for you to do is to intuitively sage it the way that you want to. So what I generally do is I'll light my sage. I'm usually start at the front door, and I'm setting an intention. So as I'm saging, my hand's waving, or I've got a feather in my hand, and I'll say something like, "This is my door, that all who enter will be of good intentions. They will be of love and light. There will be no negativity allowed into my home." And I'll do all around the doorway. And then you walk in, and let's say that you're walking into your kitchen. And this is my kitchen. And you're walking to all corners, making sure you have a window open. And again, say what your intention is. Use your own intuitive thought process. So maybe you're walking into the kitchen, and this is where my family and friends come to sit down and break bread. This is where we have conversations and where we discuss the day and where we come up with solutions to problems that we may be having. And even though a conflict may arise, we will use the most loving ways to find a solution. And then you walk through, this is my living room, and this is just automatic. And this is my living room. And this is where my family friends sit, and we congregate together and we talk about our day and we watch television and we read and we just enjoy being a family unit. This is where we gather to talk about our day and situations that we are in. And if a conflict should arise, we will resolve it together in the most loving way. And you continue on through your house. This is my bedroom, and this is the place where I rest and I sleep. This is a place where when my head hits the pillow, it calms and I'm not worried about the troubles of the day. And you want to go the whole way through the house, setting the intention for each reader for each person. Um, Good grief. Sorry, I've got a caller, and so I'm reading that and I'm thinking, but you want to set an intention for each room of your home so that together as a family, and maybe you're walking to your child's room and you have your child there and they set the intention. But we do have a caller that's here. But first, what we're going to do is we're going to go to a quick break. It looks like there's a 1 minute to break, but there's some callers. So let's go to the break quick, and when we get back, we will take our first caller.
Are you struggling to care for elderly parents or a spouse? Do you wonder if being a caregiver is making you sick? Are you worried about taking time off work to care for elderly parents and balance work, life, and caregiving? Has caregiving become exhausting and emotionally draining? Are you an aging adult who wants to remain independent, but you're not sure how? I'm Pamela D. Wilson. Join me for the Caring Generation radio show for caregivers and aging adults, Wednesday evenings, 6 Pacific, 7 Mountain, 8 Central, and 9 Eastern, where I answer these questions and share tips for managing stress, family relationships, health, well-being, and more. Podcasts and transcripts of The Caring Generation are on my website, PamelaDWilson.com, plus my caregiving library, online caregiver support programs, and programs for corporations interested in supporting working caregivers. Help, hope, and support for caregivers is here on The Caring Generation and PamelaDWilson.com.
Dr. RC will share extraordinary resources and services that promote educational success, as well as making a difference in the lives of all social workers, as well as the lives of children, adolescents, and teens of today. She will have open discussions addressing many of the issues that we face about our youth and how being employed in the uniquely skilled profession of social work for over 18 years has taught invaluable lessons through her personal experiences. She will also provide real-life facts, examples, and personal stories that will confirm that why serving as a child advocate is extremely beneficial when addressing the needs of the whole child. Listen live to Dare to Soar, Saturdays, 10 a.m. Eastern on the BBM Global Network, and tune in radio as Dr. RC will provide thought-provoking information that will empower, encourage, and strengthen students, families, and communities across our nation. You can also visit her at soarwithkatie.com.
Hi, and welcome back to Connecting the Spirit. I am Evidential Medium Stacey Niedentohl, and we are live on Bold Brave Media. And tonight we're doing a call-in show, 866-451-1451. Call in to get an angel card reading, or if you have a specific question that you want some intuitive thought about. I do have some questions that were being emailed to me. We had a caller before the break and something happened. I don't know if they hung up, but we lost that caller. So if you call in right now, you should probably be able to get in. So I want to talk to you a little bit too while we're waiting. I want to talk to you a little bit about how to read angel cards. Angel cards, energy cards, oracle cards. To me, they're all cards that you can read intuitively. Now, each deck comes with a book that explains what the author's intention and interpretation is of the card. So, like if you look, it says focus. So obviously it means it's time to focus in on something. Now it's time to look deeper into something. Do you have 4 or 5 different things that are going on, and instead of focusing in on one thing, that you've jumped back because you have so many different things to look at? So those are angel cards where if you look at it and it gives you a word, you automatically kind of know where it is. When you look at the Earth Warrior card, let me just pull one of these. Okay, I'm going to pull this up forward. So with the Earth Warrior card, Although it has writing at the bottom of it, and it does say time to cross the threshold, what I love so much about this card is there's so many graphics on it. And when you pull an angel card or an earth warrior card, and they all tell a story. They all tell you what is going on around you or the person that you're doing the reading for. So when I look at this card, I want to see what's the first thing that I'm drawn to. And the very first thing on this card that I'm drawn to is the third eye with the light, plus the light, underneath the eyes. See how that is lit up and it looks white. So if I were looking at this card and I was pulling this card for you, I would instantly think to myself, or intuitively say to you, it feels like something is coming to light for you. It feels as if you're seeing things differently than what you saw before, realizing something in a different way. You've always thought about it in this way, but all of a sudden you're seeing it differently. Does that make sense to you? And then the sitter would either say yay or nay. Hopefully they go, yeah, that makes sense. And as I'm doing that, I would be looking more at the card. And the other things that kind of pop out at me are the two birds that are on either side. I don't know whether you can see it. You should be able to see the birds on the either side. So birds can represent a couple different things. Free flight, where now instead of feeling stuck, you feel like your spirit is a lot lighter. That you're getting a bird's eye view, so it's up above where you were actually seeing. And that's probably where I would go with this, since the light was coming in this area. Would you understand that as you're looking at these things, all of a sudden you took a step back and you feel like you've got a higher view? So you're connected more with the spirit realm, with your consciousness, with your guides, with your angels. Yeah, that would make sense to me. And then I'm also like zoned in on this blue. And to me, when I see blue or purple, it lets me know that Archangel Michael is guarding and protecting you and watching over you. So no matter what you're looking at and how you're looking at it, know that you're protected by Archangel Michael. Make sense? And then there's energy cards. And energy cards, with them, it matters if they're right side up or upside down. So if I were pulling, and generally what we do, me and my guides, is I'll pull 3 cards. The first card tells me where you're at right now. Okay. The second card tells me the bridge to where you need to be. And then, interesting. And then the last card tells me the outcome. So as I look at these cards, the very first card I pulled is the world, then victory, and then the angel of balance. So how I would interpret this card, and of course it would matter who was sitting across from me, what their energy was emanating to me, and how I was reading it psychically. But what I would say is you see a lot of opportunities that the world has to offer you. And with this opportunity that's there, you want victory. You want to succeed at something. And once you can narrow down some of the opportunities in the world, all of a sudden, you're going to feel some balance. And that's just kind of a quick way to look at this. So we do have a caller that's calling in. So, hello, caller. This is Stacey.
Hello, how are
Hello.
you?
I'm well. How are you? Who am I speaking to?
This is Janet.
Hi, Janet. And did you have a
Hi.
question, or did you want?
I just called in for an angel card reading.
Okay. So, are you looking for like a past, present, future, your path, and your challenge, like a basic angel card reading?
Yes, that would be great.
Perfect, Janet. Okay. All right. So, Janet, I'm just going to ask you just to, open up your heart and your mind and allow me to connect with you heart to heart and soul to soul as I pull these cards for you.
Okay.
Okay, interesting. Okay. And I will show you these cards as I go.
All right.
Okay, interesting. So that's the only bad thing about like doing a Zoom call or something. You don't see the cards until I actually show them to you. And I just went, oh. So, right. It's like, oh, shoot, what happened? So as
I know.
I'm
What is it?
looking at
What is
this,
it?
no, it's not a bad thing. It's just kind of just as a basic before I start reading, it lets me know you're kind of on pause right now and you're walking into something that is a change for your energy. So the
Oh,
reason
okay.
that I say that for your past, it's showing me abundance.
Hmm.
When it shows in the past, it lets me know that something has either recently happened or has crept up from the past that doesn't make you feel as worthy or as confident as you once were. It's one of those things where it's almost like you shut the door on the past, but it's creaking open a little bit. So you have some self
Right.
doubt in you. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah, it does.
Okay. All right. Perfect. So for the present, it's showing me that you are fully embracing playfulness and you're acknowledging that your prayers are being answered.
Ah,
So
yes.
when these two come together, this shows me that there is joy that's coming from your spirit. You've finally gotten to the point where you're like, I don't have to adult every single day. Yes, I have
Yes.
responsibilities, but I can have fun. And what
Right.
allows me to have fun is to stand in the confidence and stand in the alignment to know whatever I need will be given to me when I need it or something better. So you're not like you've lifted off the worry coat. Does that make sense to you?
Yes. Perfect sense.
Okay, great. The future is showing me listening. So when we're looking at these first three cards and then listening comes in, all of a sudden, because of the playfulness and having this faith that your prayers are going to be answered, all of a sudden you start
Hmm.
listening to your own intuition and that confidence starts coming back. We all have those moments where we think about something and we don't do it. And then later we're like, I knew I should have done that. I knew it. I knew I should have because now I missed that opportunity. So when listening is
Right.
coming into the future, all of a sudden you're going, I didn't listen before and I'm going to listen now. And what that does, the path to that, is it brings on lots and lots of blessings around you because you've stopped and you've meditated on the things that you truly want, need, and desire. And when we
Yes.
meditate on what we want, need, and desire, all of a sudden the ego goes away because we're not
Hmm.
saying, I need a brand new Lamborghini. We're saying
Right.
things like, I want peace in my household. I want my kids to succeed. I need to
Right.
visualize how I can help the community. So we're taking the blessings that we're receiving and we're meditating on them. So now we can be of service to give them to others as well. Your challenge is Archangel Michael. So Michael is the protector. He's the
Okay.
archangel. I don't know if you listened to the episode a couple weeks ago where I talked about Archangel Michael. But if you
Yes.
feel like worry is coming in, or if you're feeling afraid of something, inviting in Archangel Michael will help with that. And
Oh,
sometimes
okay.
we just get anxious about things that we may not know what it is about, where we might just
Mhm.
say, okay, Michael, I'm not sure what's going on, but I'm going to give this to you and I'm going to trust that you will allow me to find comfort in what the universe has for me. And all of a
Perfect.
sudden you're like, oh, I feel a little bit better.
Mhm.
So when you call Archangel Michael in and allow him to intersect or intercede, I'm not sure what the right word is, on the things that are out of your control, because we don't always necessarily know what they are, all of a sudden
Right.
you start to see the blessings in that because you've
I,
meditated on those blessings. And while you were meditating, you were getting messages and ideas and you started to listen to them. And while
yes.
you were listening to them, you realized, oh my gosh, my prayers are being answered. Why am I so worried
Very
about
true.
these things when I know the divine has something better for me? And I don't know about you, but when I see prayers that are being answered and it's almost like I should like knock myself in the forehead to say I knew that this was going to happen, all of a sudden
Mhm.
I get childlike. I get that
Yeah.
innocent childlike to know that something greater is protecting me, looking out for me, and has a plan for me. And when that falls into alignment, all of a sudden, I feel worthy again. I feel abundant. And I allow the universe to give me those things that like are on my path. Does
Right.
that make sense to you?
It does. And I owe you a big thank you because I've been listening to you and I've been, manifesting and trying my best to meditate. I haven't got it perfect yet because my mind wanders, but I
Right.
just hearing
Right.
your voice, my daughter and I both said your voice just is soothing. It like eases our anxiety, and everything that
Oh,
you've taught me, I'm putting it to work, and it's making me feel better. It's working.
oh, you know what? That makes my whole night and my whole day worthwhile. I don't know if you saw
Oh,
my
thank you.
Tuesday talks this morning, but was kind of struggling with some weird stuff that was going on energetically around me, wondering if,
Yes.
oh my gosh, am I even doing the right thing? And I asked
Oh, you
for my
definitely are.
guides to give me like a defined answer. And what you just said to me is my answer.
Yep.
And I
And
thank you
so I
for that.
appreciate you so much.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate you too. Well, keep meditating, keep working on it. It's that daily exercise routine that, working
Yes.
through it, but it will come into place and then it will fall out of place and then it will come back in. You just have to constantly not get frustrated and give up. Okay.
No, thank you so much, Stacey.
Thank you, Janet. God bless your baby heart. Thank you for calling in.
Oh, thank you. Bye bye.
Okay. Wasn't that an awesome caller? This morning, I don't know how many of you are on my Tuesday talks at 10:30 on my social media. Every Tuesday at 10:30 in the morning, I talk about something. And I was really struggling last night with what to talk about because the energy around me has been really wonky. And I know there's a shift in consciousness and I know all the woo-woo stuff. But you know what? Sometimes I still want to go, but why? And I even thought to myself, why am I even really helping anybody? And I asked my guides to give me a definitive answer to let me know if I was on the right path. And this phone call from Janet comes and says that from listening to the things that I've been guiding her on, which isn't me, it's the divine spilling it out of my mouth, that it's helping her. So when you ask for a specific sign or a question, it will arise. You just have to look for it. Ah, I love that. I love that so much. Thank you, Janet, so much for calling. So the phone lines are still open, 866-451-1451. If you're looking for an angel card reading or an energy reading, or you just have a spiritual path, soul path question that you want answered in the best way that I can. Know that some of the answers aren't always me. Most of the time, it's not me, it's what I'm given. But I try and be as open and honest with you as I can when we do this. So, we were talking about energy cards. So then what I was saying is I also like to have a deck of cards that are just miscellaneous cards from different decks. This is when I really try to test my intuitive insight. And I will just pull a card or two or three on someone. Sometimes I'll say, pick a number between 1 and 5 or 1 and 3 or 1 and 4, and I'll pull a couple cards. And because I don't use these cards on a daily basis, I don't instantly know what they mean. So I have to really like zone in, listen to my guides and angels, and be mindful of where my eyes go. So I don't know if we need to go for a break. I see we are at the half hour. So you know what? Why don't we cut away for a quick break? And when we get back, I will talk about the random oracle cards that I use, and we will take any more calls that are coming in. So like, share, subscribe, but stay with us. We'll be right back.
Author, radio show host, and coach John M. Hawkins reveals strategies to help gain perspective, build confidence, find clarity, achieve goals. John M. Hawkins' new book, Coached to Greatness, Unlock Your Full Potential with Limitless Growth, published by iUniverse. Hawkins reveals strategies to help readers accomplish more. He believes the book can coach them to greatness. Hawkins says that the best athletes get to the top of their sport with the help of coaches, mentors, and others. He shares guidance that helps readers reflect on what motivates them, rediscover and assess their core values, philosophies, and competencies, find settings that allow them to be the most productive, and track their progress towards accomplishing goals. Listen to John Hawkins' My Strategy, Saturdays, 1 p.m. Eastern on the BBM Global Network and TuneIn Radio. Dr. RC will share extraordinary resources and services that promote educational success, as well as making a difference in the lives of all social workers, as well as the lives of children, adolescents, and teens of today. She will have open discussions addressing many of the issues that we face about our youth and how being employed in the uniquely skilled profession of social work for over 18 years has taught invaluable lessons through her personal experiences. She will also provide real-life facts, examples, and personal stories that will confirm that why serving as a child advocate is extremely beneficial when addressing the needs of the whole child. Listen live to Dare to Soar, Saturdays, 10 a.m. Eastern on the BBM Global Network and TuneIn Radio, as Dr. RC will provide thought-provoking information that will empower, encourage, and strengthen students, families, and communities across our nation. You can also visit her at soarwithkatie.com.
Hello and welcome back to Connecting to Spirit. I'm Evidential Medium, Stacey Niedentohl, and your connection to the spirit world. So during this episode, we are taking live call-ins where if you have a question in particular that you want answered, if you want me to do a live angel card reading, just call in at 866-451-1451, and I will either pull some cards for you, or we can kind of play around with it a little bit. But this is a night where it is for you. And I do have a caller that's holding. So hello, caller. This is Stacey.
Hi, Stacey.
Hello. Who am I talking to?
You're talking to Vanessa.
Vanessa, it's so funny. When we were on break, I saw that you were watching, and I thought, I wonder why Vanessa isn't calling in. I should have said, hello, is this Vanessa?
Well, like
So,
Jan and I can always use your encouragement and just to keep me on track.
Okay. So do you have a
I think I'd like to do the random ones and see what comes out.
random cards? Yeah, they're pretty cool. I like to test myself sometimes with that. So, and they're just a bunch of different cards from all different decks, and they're all decks that I don't use, which makes it even more interesting. So, Vanessa, will you pick a number between 1 and 4, please?
4.
4. Okay. And of course, I'm just going to ask you that you open up your energy field, allow that white light to go from you to me, heart to heart, and soul to soul. And we're just I'm getting chills already. Okay. All right. So let's see. Okay. So the first card that let me just show you. I don't know if you're watching or not. So the first card is the 7th house, which is love and partnership. And then I've got the garnet card. And then I've got one that has like this real funky woman who dresses like I love to dress, just a little bit out there. And then I have the dove. So, as you know, all cards tell stories. So I'm just going to look at the cards for a second and get the vibe here for you. When I have the seventh house and love and partnership, it lets me know that there's a little bit of distance in a relationship that you have. And it doesn't feel like a divorce is coming or anything like that. It just feels as if they're like you're passing each other. I don't know if that makes sense or not. Um, and when I have the garnet come up, it talks about crisis management. Your situation, maybe you feel a little bit stuck, but it encourages you to solve this. So, Vanessa, are you in a relationship right now?
Yes, I'm married.
Okay, all right. I thought you were, but I wasn't sure. Would you understand kind of sort of passing each other right now? Not that you don't have a connection, but it just feels like almost you have to make appointments with each other.
It's probably my best friend because we
Ah,
haven't been able to
okay.
spend some time together, and it has made things just very different between us. So I think
Yeah.
it's more
Well,
targeted toward my best friend.
yeah. See that makes sense to me when I'm looking at the other cards because with Garnet, it's that crisis management stone where it says even though you feel a little bit stuck right now, have the confidence to know that you can get out of it. It is in your own power. So if you are already realizing that you and your best friend have kind of been passing each other and haven't made time for each other, it's time to say, okay, we need to sit down and talk this out. And it doesn't necessarily mean that there's a conflict. It just means I need to sit down and have lunch with you and we need to have a conversation. And when I'm going to the next card, it says strive for my soul to be at ease. So when we have these conversations with friends and with family members, it allows us because we trust the relationship and it allows our heart to be filled with love because now all of a sudden I'm connecting heart to heart, soul to soul. And I'm allowing myself to just be where I want to be and where I need to be. The outcome is the dove where it says, this will bring you peace. So if you've already acknowledged that you and your best friend haven't had time to like sit down and just have, you know, friendship time, makes you feel a little on edge. Like, did I do something wrong? Or maybe they're thinking, did I do something wrong? But it's making it a point to say, you know what, you're important enough to me. Let's schedule an appointment and resolve this so that we can find peace within ourselves again. Does that make sense to you or not?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep, it sure
Okay.
does.
'Cause yeah, I mean, it doesn't feel like either one is upset or angry. It just feels like you're both gotten so busy with stuff that we need to get unbusy and just it's almost like sit down and giggle and have a chat and just allow our energy to reconnect again. But
I think
I'd say, you know
our
what?
biggest problem
Go
is
ahead.
that everybody's tired.
You know what? Amen. Everybody is tired. Everybody is tired. But are you going to allow the tiredness to be an excuse, an ongoing excuse for not connecting? Because
No.
I've noticed sometimes before I have a reading, I'm like, oh my gosh, I am so tired. I just don't, maybe I should have rescheduled this. Maybe I should. And once I start to meditate and I connect with spirit and energy, all of a sudden I'm re-energized. And I find that with friends as well when I'm thinking, oh, I really don't want to go out to dinner. I just don't feel like putting my shoes on. I don't want to do this. But then when I get with them and we sit and we talk, all of a sudden I'm re-energized. And it was what I actually needed.
That's called
Are you
putting
there?
yourself first.
It really is. It really is. And the
It's
energy
self-care.
in the, yeah, you're right. I don't even have a comeback for that, but that's exactly right. It's self-care.
Yep.
It's self-care. So,
It's funny that
Janet.
you picked up on that because the last 5 or 6 days has been very very tense between the two of us.
Oh,
Just conversation and everything has just been finger pointing and avoidance, and it's just been really tough.
oh. So it's time to just have, you know what? Let's go out to lunch. And,
Mhm.
go out to lunch and just, one of those things where you say, you know, I'm I've had this wonky energy around me. I've been feeling frustrated and tired lately. I'm sensing it from you as well. Maybe it's just me, but just know that I love you in the good and in the bad. I remember one time I
Mhm.
had a conversation with Denise. And for those of you who don't know, Denise is like my right-hand person, and she, helps me with all my um, stuff when I come to Bel Air. And I was having a bad day, and I just like spilled all this stuff out. And she was like, "Oh my God, I'm doing the best that I can." And I'm like, "It's not you. You're my person that when there's a problem with my energy, you get to be the one to hear it. It's not you. I don't want
Yes.
you to take it on. I just need you to listen to it so that I
Yes.
can get rid of it." And she was like, "Oh, okay." Because, and I can understand how she was probably thinking that it was her, but I was just actually saying, I've got this and this and this and this and this to do, and I'm trying to do this and I'm trying to do this on my phone and this and this. And I'm trying to help you as much as I'm like, it's not you. You're the lucky one right now that's on the other end of the phone that gets to hear this because I trust you enough to give all this to you, and you don't think less of me.
Well, and
So,
it seems like we're on different feels like we're on a roller coaster most of the time. The moods are opposite of each other, and that
okay.
makes it hard also.
Yeah. Well, you know as well as I do because of what you do for a living. Help me to understand what you're going through. Help me to see what I'm not seeing. Explain it to me. Because maybe you're
And
missing
well, I've
something
been
that you think is there, and or you say, "Let me explain to you just for a second what I'm going through and try to understand it." You don't have to agree with it, but just try to understand it.
well, we've already done all that this past weekend, but it's just I think it's a lot more him than me. Um,
Mm,
but I value this relationship. This friendship has
yeah.
been for 40 some years.
Well, you know what? And a 40-year relationship is worth hanging on to.
Yeah, absolutely.
So energy is weird right now. Full moon generally don't affect me. And I mean, it didn't the
You're
other
cutting
night.
out,
And
Stacey.
all of a sudden, oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. So, just try and be, you know what? Send him loving energy. Set the intention that we can have a conversation to resolve whatever's going on. Instead of thinking about what's going wrong, visualize what can go right. Make sense?
Yes, absolutely.
All right.
Well, that was completely
All right, Vanessa.
100% spot on.
Hey,
Thank
the
you,
random
Stacey.
cards know.
Yes.
Thank you so much,
Well,
Vanessa. All right.
take care of yourself.
I hope you resolve everything. All right, you too. All
Oh, we will.
right.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Okay, great. All right. Bye-bye. Thank you. How interesting that is. That when some of the cards that came up, and the first card in the seventh house, which talks about love and relationships, sometimes you might instantly think that this is a um, a marriage or a spouse, but here was this relationship that they've known each other for 40 years. It is kind of like a marriage, but this is what the cards were saying, that there's some type of friction. You're in crisis mode about it. We need to have a conversation to find a peaceful resolution. And then the dove showed up, that peace will come forward. I feel sometimes like we avoid conflict so that we don't have to have the tough conversations. But for someone that you've known for that long, It's like, you know what? I love you. I may not agree with you, but I love you. Help me to understand where you're coming from because maybe I'm missing something. And listen. Listen to listen. Don't listen to respond. Do not do my pet peeve response. Oh, well, now you know how I feel. Shut up. No, listen to how I feel. And let's resolve this together because our friendship is worth it. Doesn't mean to say that sometimes you don't outgrow a friendship, but you want to try and resolve it in the most loving way possible. So we do need to take another break. Make sure that you like, share, and subscribe to Connecting to Spirit. Send this to all your friends who have ever had questions about angel card readings and call in when we get back after the break. 866-451-1451. It's right there in the lower corner. All right, guys, I'll be right back.
Are you struggling to care for elderly parents or a spouse? Do you wonder if being a caregiver is making you sick? Are you worried about taking time off work to care for elderly parents and balance work, life, and caregiving? Has caregiving become exhausting and emotionally draining? Are you an aging adult who wants to remain independent, but you're not sure how? I'm Pamela D. Wilson. Join me for the Caring Generation radio show for caregivers and aging adults, Wednesday evenings, 6 Pacific, 7 Mountain, 8 Central, and 9 Eastern, where I answer these questions and share tips for managing stress, family relationships, health, well-being, and more. Podcasts and transcripts of The Caring Generation are on my website, PamelaDWilson.com, plus my caregiving library, online caregiver support programs, and programs for corporations interested in supporting working caregivers. Help, hope, and support for caregivers is here on The Caring Generation and PamelaDWilson.com.
Dr. RC will share extraordinary resources and services that promote educational success, as well as making a difference in the lives of all social workers, as well as the lives of children, adolescents, and teens of today. She will have open discussions addressing many of the issues that we face about our youth and how being employed in the uniquely skilled profession of social work for over 18 years has taught invaluable lessons through her personal experiences. She will also provide real-life facts, examples, and personal stories that will confirm that why serving as a child advocate is extremely beneficial when addressing the needs of the whole child. Listen live to Dare to Soar, Saturdays, 10 a.m. Eastern on the BBM Global Network, and tune in radio as Dr. RC will provide thought-provoking information that will empower, encourage, and strengthen students, families, and communities across our nation. You can also visit her at soarwithkatie.com.
Hello and welcome back to Connecting to Spirit. I'm Evidential Medium Stacey Niedentohl, and tonight is a live call-in show. It's a call-in show that is all about you. I'm doing angel card readings, answering questions. The number is there in the lower corner at 866-451-1451. So if you have a question or if you're wondering where you're going spiritually, now's the time for you to call in. Last week when we were talking about spirituality, I had several people say, hey, can we call in and ask a question? This is that call-in show. This is the time for you to do it. When we talk about angel and oracle cards and energy cards, a lot of people will ask me about tarot or tarot. Tarot cards are something I am not intuitively educated on, I guess is a good way to say it. There are a lot of really good tarot card readers out there. It's just something that doesn't click in my energy. It doesn't mean that they're wrong. It doesn't mean that what I'm doing is not intuitive. It's just we all have different modalities of things that we connect with. So stones and crystals are something I connect with. Angel and oracle cards and energy cards, that's something that I connect with. Mediumship, doing soul to soul readings, doing energy readings. This is where my path has led me. So even if, like with Vanessa, the one card that I pulled for her was a tarot card that said about, no, it was an astrology card, I lied, that talked about the seventh house. Even though I'm not exactly sure what the seventh house is, but I do know when I looked at the card and when it said about love and relationships, I could understand where it was taking me, especially when I was looking at the other cards. As I said before, they tell a story, and you have to really feel into what you are sensing with that. When I look at the card, let me just grab one here. Okay, that's interesting. Okay. So when I'm looking at this, let me just show this to you. All right, this is one of the random cards. And it says bringer of change. Now I'm just going to teach you something here. So see all the butterflies? And he has butterfly wings as well, right? Yep, butterfly wings. What does the butterfly signify to you? That's where you want to go. And in the spiritual world, the butterfly is transformation because, you know, egg, caterpillar, cocoon, chrysalis, butterfly. And I probably have the stages wrong, and I'll probably hear from my friend Denise because she raises monarch butterflies to save the monarchs. But when I'm looking at this card, when it says bringer of change, and I see the butterflies, it lets me know you are transforming. You're not the same person that you were, maybe even yesterday, that you're looking at things in a different way. And even on this card, right, I wish I could see this a little bit. Right down here, he's got this lantern. And in the lantern are little flowers, and they're purple flowers. And the lantern is lit. So it lets me know that your light is turning on, that you're blossoming, that you are growing. And if you were at one point feeling like you were stuck or in the dark or lost, all of a sudden your path is starting to be lit and you're starting to transform. You've got the blue on here as well, Archangel Michael, the bringer of change, calling in Archangel Michael. And when I'm looking at this, I'm just seeing what else I see on here. So he's got a small timepiece that is on there as well. So representing time, of course, but it wasn't your time before. It was too soon for you to walk into this transformation. There were other things that you needed to learn first. All of that I get from this card. With the pink, that represents to me heart center. I know green is generally heart center, but for me, pink, rose quartz. This is love. So it's allowing me to transform and to bring love into myself as well as sending it out to the universe. The last caller, when Vanessa, when she and I were talking, I had said to her, if anything, and I don't remember exactly how I said it, send a good intention, send loving intentions to this person through meditation, through prayer, and asking for a resolution in the most loving way. When you ask, solutions will appear. Just like what I said before Janet called. The question that I put out there this morning, and Janet answered my question. My guide answered my questions. When I'm looking at the dove, which was something that I had pulled for Vanessa as well, the dove brings peace. So when I'm looking at this as well, you've got green around his neck. Green is healing, Archangel Raphael. You've got purple down here, all right? You have blue. So you've got the different chakra colors that are in here. You've got some orange. So you're lining your chakras up. You're finding balance. When you find peace, you find balance. And I don't want to, for 1 minute, to say to you, once you find peace, everything is good. Because it will come and then it will go. And then it will come and it will go. What you do, how you resolve that, is where you grow and you blossom and you bloom. When I was looking at the garnet, and it's, the garnet, that's a semi-precious stone. It's crisis management, right? Your situation is stuck. Garnet helps to solve the chaos and encourages the soul. It strengthens your confidence and your own power. So we're in conflict. What's the best thing to do? Gaslight and ignore and pretend and ignore phone calls, or find the confidence and the power within me so that I can solve the chaos that's around me. Makes sense? There's so many different ways that you can heal from within. You just have to make it a point, make it important enough, prioritize yourself enough to say, this is what I need to do. I'm hurting. I have these wounds. Crisis management. I need to find the blessings in the chaos. Angel cards can help you do that. Meditation can do that. Prayer, resolution, journaling, all these things can do that. But they can't do it by themselves. You need to help it along. Me giving these 2 readings tonight and giving answers, they have the choice to either move forward on the solutions that I gave to them intuitively, or they can just let things be the way that they are. So change doesn't happen without nourishment, without being refreshed. Think about when you plant a flower, you plant a seed in the dirt. If you planted it in the dirt, it wouldn't grow without water. It wouldn't grow without sunlight. So you have to grow, you have to blossom, you have to nourish, you have to think, you have to reflect. So I hope this answered some of your questions about angel and oracle card readings. I'm not sure when we'll do the next one. Let me know, because I definitely love talking to you all and helping you all with this. But this is Connecting to Spirit with Stacey. If you're interested in scheduling an appointment with me, you can go to my website, connectingtospiritwithstacey.com. Any of my social media groups, leave me a message here on my social media so that you can connect with me. But you know what? I feel like together you and I can help heal the world one person at a time. But first, we have to choose to live the life that we love and love the life that we live. And if we're struggling, it's time to look deep within and allow ourselves to figure out what's going on and how I can resolve it. Ask, journal, listen, and respond. All right, guys. This has been a fun evening for me. I hope you enjoyed it. And I will see you next Tuesday on Bold Brave Media, on other streaming podcasts. But I hope you have a great night. I love you so much. Peace out.
This has been Connecting to Spirit with Stacey. Tune in each week as Stacey delves into the journey of life, healing, and spiritual connection, inviting listeners to open their hearts, clear their minds, and create the life they love. Right here, Tuesdays, 8 p.m. Eastern on the Bold Brave TV network, powered by B2 Studios.